Write the following affirmation and repeat it over and over again to yourself. I am whole and perfect as I was created. I am whole and perfect as I was created. Carry this thought with you wherever you go. Have it laminated and place it in your pocket, on your dashboard, on your refrigerator, and next to your bed. Allow the words to become a source of high energy and self respect. Be simply carrying these words with you and being in the same space with them, their energy will flow directly to you. Self respect emerges from the fact that you respect the source from which you came and you have made a decision to reconnect to that source, regardless of what anyone else might think. It's very important to keep reminding yourself at the beginning that you're worthy of infinite respect from the one source that you can always count on, the peace of God energy that defines you. This reminder will do wonders for your self respect and consequently your ability to use the power of intention in your life. Over and over, remind yourself, I'm not my body. I am not my accumulations. I am not my achievements. I am not my reputation. I am whole and perfect as I was created. Step 3, extend more respect to others and to all of life. Perhaps the greatest secret of self esteem is to appreciate other people more. The easiest way to do this is to see the unfolding of God in them. Look past the judgment of others' appearance, failures, and successes, their status in society, their wealth or lack of it, and extend appreciation and love to the source from which they came. Everyone is a child of God. Everyone. Try to see this, even in those who behave in what appears to be a godless fashion. Know that by extending love and respect, you can turn that energy around so that it's heading back to its source rather than away from it. In short, and send out respect because that is what you have to give away. Send out judgment and low energy, and that is what you will attract back. Remember, when you judge another, you do not define them. You define yourself as someone who needs to judge. The same applies to judgment directed at you. Step 4, affirm to yourself and all others that you meet, I belong. A sense of belonging is one of the highest attributes on Abraham Maslow's pyramid of self actualization, which I discussed at the beginning of the next chapter. Feeling that you don't belong or you're in the wrong place can be due to lack of self respect. Respect yourself and your divinity by knowing that everyone belongs. This should never come into question. Your presence here in the universe is proof alone that you belong here. No person decides if you belong here. No government determines if some belong and some don't. There is an intelligent system that you are part of. The wisdom of creation intended you to be here, in this place, in this family, with these siblings and parents occupying this precious space. Say to yourself and affirm it whenever necessary, I belong, and so does everyone else. No one is here by accident. Step 5, remind yourself that you are never alone. My self respect stays intact as long as I know that it's impossible for me to be alone. I have a senior partner who has never abandoned me and who has stuck with me even in moments when I had seemingly deserted my source. I feel that if the universal mind has enough respect to allow me to come here and to work through me and to protect me at times when I strayed onto dangerous, non spiritual turf, then this partnership deserves my reciprocal respect. I recall my friend Pat McMahon, a talk show host on K Star Radio in Phoenix, Arizona, telling me about his encounter with Mother Teresa in a studio before interviewing her for his program. He pleaded with her to allow him to do something for her. Anything at all, he begged. I would just like to help you in some way. She looked at him and said, tomorrow morning, get up at 4 a.m. and go out onto the streets of Phoenix. Find someone who lives there and believes that he's alone and convince him that he is not. Great advice, because everyone who wallows in self doubt or appears to be lost has lost their self respect because they have forgotten that they are not alone. Step 6, respect your body. You have been provided with a perfect body to house your inner invisible being for a few brief moments in eternity, regardless of its size, shape, color, or any imagined infirmities. It's a perfect creation for the purpose that you were intended here for you. You don't need to work at getting healthy. Health is something you already have if you don't disturb it. You may have disturbed your healthy body by overfeeding, under exercising it, and overstimulating it with toxins or drugs that make it sick, fatigued, jumpy, anxious, depressed, bloated, ornery, or an endless list of maladies. You can begin add to the you can begin the fulfillment of this intention to live a life of self-respect by honoring the temple that houses you. You know what to do. You don't need another diet, workout, manual, or personal trainer. Go within, listen to your body, and treat it with all the dignity and love that your self respect demands. Um, okay, now step 7, meditate to stay in conscious contact with your source, which always respects you. I can't say this enough. Meditation is a way to experience what the five senses can't detect. When you're connected to the field of intention, you're connected to the wisdom that's within you. That divine wisdom has great respect for you and it cherishes you while you are here. Meditation is a way to ensure that you stay in a state of self respect, regardless of all that goes around you. When you enter into that sacred space of meditation, all doubts about your value as an esteemed creation dissolve. You will emerge from the solemnity of meditation feeling connected to your source and enjoying respect for all beings, particularly yourself. Step 8, make amends and adversaries. The act of making amends sends out a signal of respect for your adversaries. By radiating this forgiving energy outward, you'll find the same kind, this same kind of respectful, positive energy flowing back towards you. By being big enough to make amends and replace the energy of anger, bitterness, and tension with kindness, even if you still insist that you are right, you will respect yourself much more than prior to your act of forgiveness. If you're filled with rage toward anyone, there's a huge part of you that resents the presence of this debilitating energy. Take a moment right here and now to simply face the person who stands out in your mind as someone you hurt or directed hurt to you, and tell him or her that you would like to make amends. You will notice how much better you feel. That good feeling of having cleared the air is self respect. It takes much more courage, strength of character, and inner conviction to make amends than it does to hang on to the low energy feelings. Step 9. Always remember the self in self respect. In order to do this, you must recognize that the opinion of others towards you aren't facts, they are opinions or only opinions. When I speak to an audience of 500 people, there are 500 opinions of me in the room at the end of the evening. I have none of those opinions. I can't be responsible for how they view me. The only thing I can be responsible for is my own character. And this is true for every one of us. If I respect myself, then I'm relying on the self in self respect. If I doubt myself or punish myself, I have not only lost my self respect, I will continue to attract more and more doubt and lower energy opinions with which to further punish myself. You can stay linked to the universal mind, which intends all of us here, if you fail to rely on yourself for your self respect. And now, the last one, step 10, be in a state of gratitude. You will discover that gratitude is the final step in each succeeding chapter. Be an appreciator rather than a depreciator of everything that shows up in your life. When you're saying, thank you, God, for everything, and when you are expressing gratitude for your life and all that you see and experience, you are respecting creation. This respect is within you, and you can only give when you have it inside. Being in a state of gratitude is the exact same thing as being in a state of respect. Respect for yourself, which you give away freely and which will be returned to you tenfold. Close this chapter with the words of Jesus of Nazareth, speaking through his apostle Saint Matthew. Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Reconnect to the perfection from which you originated. You can't have any more of self respect than that. Thank you so much. Deepa, please continue.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing for a Shilpa. Wonderful reading. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Go on, Deepa.
Yeah, chapter 8. It is my intention to live my life on purpose. Those who have failed to work toward the truth have missed the purpose of living. Buddha. Your side business in life is to attain God realization. All else is useless and worthless. Shivananda. A sense of purpose is at the very top of the pyramid of self actualization created by Abraham Maslow more than 50 years ago. Through his research, Dr. Maslow discovered that those who feel purposeful are living the highest qualities that humanity has to offer. During the many years I have been in the fields of human development, motivation, and spiritual awareness, this is the topic that more people inquire about than anything else. I'm repeatedly asked questions such as, how do I find my purpose? Does such a thing really exist? Why don't I know my purpose in life? Being on purpose is on their life journeys. But many individuals feel little sense of purpose, and many even doubt that they have a purpose in life. Purpose and intention. The theme of this book is that intention is a force in the universe, and that everything and everyone is connected to this invisible force. Since this is an intelligent system we are all a part of, and everything that arrives here came from that intelligence, it follows that if it wasn't supposed to be here, then it wouldn't be here. And if it is here, then it is supposed to be. And that's enough for me. The very fact of your existence indicates that you have a purpose. As I mentioned, the key question for most of us is, what is my purpose? And I hear that question in as many forms as there are people wondering about it. What am I supposed to be doing? Should I be an architect, a florist, a veterinarian, or should I help people or fix automobiles? And am I supposed to have a family or be in the jungle saving the chimpanzees? We are befuddled by the endless number of options available to us and wonder whether we are doing the right thing. In this chapter, I urge you to forget these questions. Move instead to a place of faith and trust in the universal mind of intention, remembering that you emanated from this mind and you are a piece of it all at all times. Intention and purpose are so beautifully and naturally intertwined as a double helix of your DNA. There are no accidents. You are here for the purpose that you signed up for before you entered the world of particles and form. Many of the things that you refer to as problems result from the fact that you are disconnected from the intention and therefore unaware of your true spiritual identity. The process of polishing that connecting link and reconnecting is the basic to your intention to live your life on purpose. As you cleanse this link, you'll make two important discoveries. First, you'll discover that your purpose is not as much about what you do as it is about how you feel. Your second discovery will be that feeling purposeful activates your power of intention to create anything that is consistent with the 7 phases of intention. Feeling purpose. In response to the question, what should I do with my life? I suggest that there is only one thing you can do with it. Since you came into this world with nothing and you leave with nothing, you can give it away. You will feel most on purpose when you are giving your life away by serving others. When you are giving to others, to your planet, and to your source, you are being purposeful. Whatever it is that you choose to do, if you are motivated to be of service to others while being authentically detached from the outcome, you'll feel on purpose, regardless of how much abundance flows back to you. So, your intention is to live your life on purpose. What is the spiritual source like in this regard? It is perpetually in the process of giving its life force away to create something from nothing. When you do the same, regardless of what you are giving or creating, you are in harmony with intention. You are then on purpose, just as the universal mind is always acting purpose. Take this one step further. Does the universal source of all life have to think about what it is doing with its powers? Is it concerned with bringing in gazelles or centipedes? Does it concern itself with where it lives or what it ultimately creates? No. Your source is simply in the business of expressing itself through the seven phases of intention. The details are taken care of automatically. Likewise, your feelings of being on purpose in your life flows through expression of the same seven with the I'm sorry. Likewise, your feelings of being on purpose in your life flows through expressions of the seven phases of intention. Allow yourself to be in the feeling place within you that's unconcerned with such things as vocational choices or doing the things you are destined to do. When you are in the service of others or extend kindness beyond your boundaries, you will feel connected to your source. You will feel happy and content, knowing that you're doing the right thing. I get that feeling of inner completion and contentment that lets me know that I am on purpose by reading my mail or hearing the comments I so frequently hear when I'm walking through the airports or eating at restaurants. You changed my life, Wayne Dyer. You were there for me when I felt lost. This is different from receiving a royalty payment or great reviews, which I also enjoy. The personal expressions of gratitude are what sustain me in knowing that I am on purpose. Outside of my chosen occupation, I feel purposeful in a myriad of ways virtually every single day. When I extend assistance to someone in need, when I take a moment to cheer up a disgruntled employee in a restaurant or in a store, when I make a child laugh who sits otherwise ignored in a stroller, or even when I pick up a piece of litter and place it in a trash can, I feel that I'm giving myself away and as such feel purposeful. Eventually, what I'm saying is stay on purpose by expressing the seven phases of intention, and the details will find you. You'll never have to ask what your purpose is and how you fill it, how you find it. Your purpose will find you. In a previous chapter, I reviewed the obstacles to connecting to intention and pointing out that our thoughts are one of the major roadblocks. I stressed that we become what we think about all day long. What thoughts do you have that inhibit you from feeling as if you're on purpose in your life? For instance, if you think you're separate from your purpose and that you're drifting without direction through your life, then you're precisely what you will attract. Then that is precisely what will you will attract. Suppose instead that you know this is a purposeful universe where your thoughts, emotions, and actions are a part of your free will and are also connected to the power of intention. Support that your thoughts of being purposeless and aimless are really a part of your purpose. Just as the thought of losing someone you love makes you love them even more, or an illness makes you treasure your health. Suppose that it takes the thought of your unimportance to make you realize your value. When you're awake enough to question your purpose and ask how to connect to it, you're being prodded by the power of intention. The very act of questioning why you're here is an indication that your thoughts are nudging you to reconnect to the field of intention. What is the source of your thoughts about your purpose? Why do you want to feel purposeful? Why is a sense of purpose considered the highest attribute of a fully functioning person? The source of thought is an infinite reservoir of energy and intelligence. In a sense, thoughts about your purpose are really your purpose trying to reconnect to you. This infinite reservoir of loving, kind, creative, abundant energy grew out of the originating intelligence and is stimulating you to express this universal mind in your own unique way. Reread the two display quotes at the beginning of this chapter. Buddha refers to the truth. And Shivananda suggests that God realization is our true purpose. This entire book is dedicated to connecting to the power of intention and letting go of ego, which tries to make us believe we are separate from our divine originating source and tries to separate us from realizing ultimate truth. This ultimate truth is the source of your thoughts. The inner beginningness knows why you're here, but your ego prods you to chase after money, prestige, popularity, and sensory pleasures and miss the purpose of life, of living. You may feel satiated and gain a reputation, but being there, that is knowing your knowing feeling, type, typified by the old Piggy League song. Is that all there is? The focusing on the demands of the ego leaves you feeling unfulfilled. Deep within you, at the level of your beginning, is what you are intended to become, to accomplish, and to be. In the inner placeless place, you're connected to the power of intention. It will find. Make a conscious effort to contact it and listen. Practice being what you are at the source of your soul. Go to your soul level, where intention and purpose fit together so perfectly that you achieve the epiphany of your of simply knowing this is it. Go to your source level where intention and purpose fit together so perfectly that you achieve the epiphany of your simply knowing this is it. Okay, thank you. Would anyone else like to take over?
Yeah, anyone would
I
like to
can.
read?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
But we are at 8 o'clock. So do we want to continue or?
Oh, yeah. I did not notice that. Let me check how much is there. Mm,
A pretty big chapter.
Hmm. I think we can just read one or two more parts and then we'll stop because it's in alignment.
Okay.
Or maybe just one more. The silent inner knowing. Then we'll stop.
All right. Your silence in a note. Esteemed psychologist and philosopher William James once wrote, in the dim background of our mind, we know, meanwhile, what we ought to be doing. But somehow we cannot start. Every moment we expect the spell to break, but it does continue, pulse after pulse, and we float with it. In my experience as a therapist and as a speaker talking to thousands of people about their lives, I've come to the same conclusion. Somewhere buried deep within us, within each of us, is a call to purpose. It's not always rational, not always clearly delineated, and sometimes even seemingly absurd. But the knowing is there. There's a silent something within that intends you to express yourself. That something is your soul telling you to listen and connect through love, kindness, and receptivity to the power of intention. That silent knowing will never leave you alone. You may try to ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. But in honest, alone moments of contemplative communication with yourself, you sense the emptiness waiting for you to fill it with your music. It wants you to take the risks involved and to ignore your ego and the egos of others who tell you that an easier, safer, or more secure path is best for you. Ironically, it's not necessarily about performing a specific task. or being in a certain occupation or living in a specific location. It's about sharing yourself in a creative, loving way, using the skills and interests that are inherently part of it. It can involve any activity: dancing, writing, healing, gardening, cooking, parenting, teaching, composing, singing, surfing, whatever. There's no limit to this list. But everything on this list can be done to pump up your ego or to serve others. Satisfying your ego ultimately means being unfulfilled and questioning your purpose. This is because your source is egoless and you're attempting to connect with your source where your purpose originates. If the activities on the list are service to others, you feel the bliss of purposeful living, while paradoxically attracting more of what you'd like to have in your life. My daughter Sky is an example of what I'm presenting here. She has known since she could first speak that she wanted to sing. It was almost as if she showed up here in the world with a destiny to sing for others. Over the years, she's sung at my public appearances, first as a 4-year old, and then at every age up until now, her 21st year. She has also sung on my public television specials, and the reaction to her singing has always been gratifying. As a student immersed in a music program at a major university, Sky studied for academic and theoretical perspectives. One day in her junior year, we had a discussion that centered on her purpose and the silent inner knowing she's always had. Would you be upset, she inquired, if I left college? I just don't feel like I can do what I know I have to do by sitting in a classroom and studying music theory any longer. I just want to write my own music and sing. It's the only thing I think about, but I don't want to disappoint you and me. How could I, who tells his readers not to die with their music still in them, tell my 21-year-old daughter to stay in college because that's the right way? And it's what I did. I encouraged her to listen to the silent knowing that I've seen evidence of since she was toddler and to follow her heart. As Gandhi once said, to give one's heart is to give all. This is where God exists, in Sky and in you. I did ask Sky to make a supreme effort to live her purpose by serving those who will listen to her music rather than focusing her attention on being famous and making money. Let the universe handle those details, I reminded her. You write and sing because you have to express what is in that beautiful heart of yours. I then asked her to think from the end and act as if all that she wanted to create for herself was already here, waiting for her to connect to it. Recently, she voiced dismay at not having her own CD out in the world, and she was acting with thoughts of not having a CD out in the world. Consequently, no CD and lots of frustration. I strongly encouraged her to start thinking from the end by seeing the studio being available, the musicians ready to collaborate with her, the CD as a finished product, and her intentions as a reality. I gave her a deadline to have a CD completed that I could make available in my lectures. I told her that she could sing to these audiences as she had done sporadically uh, in her life as well as in my public television pitch shows. Her thinking from the end materialized everything she needed, and the universal spirit began to work with her unbending intent. She found the studio, the musicians she needed magically appeared, and she was able to have the CD produced. Sky worked tirelessly day after day, singing her own favorites, as well as several that I wanted her to sing at my appearances, including Amazing Grace, The Prayer of St. Francis, and her own composition, Lavender Fields, which she sings from deep pride and passion. And lo and behold, today a CD, This Sky Has No Limits, is now out and is being offered to the public wherever she sings at my lectures. Sky's presence on the stage with me brings so much joy and love to the presentation because she's as closely aligned to those seven phases of intention as any human being I've ever known. So, it's no secret why this book is also dedicated to her, one of my angels of spiritual intention. Shall I go ahead or we
No,
call it a
let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop. Because it's already 8, 9, and we'll discuss and then we'll close. Yeah. So thank you everyone. So we are open for discussion. So feel free to share whatever your insights or whatever you would like to share after this reading today. Go on, go on.
Somewhere where I was reading, I think it was a third point, where he says, it's written that you stick to think that you're not this and you're not that. Yeah. So this not, you go into not, I'm not this, I'm not that. There is in our scriptures something called neti neti, where you say, there are different ways we have 6 darshanas, so 6 views of looking at life among the Indian scriptures. And one of the ways is neti neti, which means you keep on saying, I'm not this, I'm not that. So I'm not a wife, I'm not a mother, I'm not a daughter, I am not a yoga therapist. So you keep on saying, I'm not, and then what remains is the essence of you. So if you ever get a chance to do this, I'm not joking. It's so healing, and it is so touching, and it connects you with the source immediately, because we are all right now more or less ego-centered with with certain roles that we play. I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
So it's like shedding all your identities that you associate with along the way, like through life,
Yeah.
right?
Right. We could do this together. I will call you up, and we can set up a time, and we can offer it to the group also, whoever wants to join in.
Yeah, sure, we can do it. Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah, Deepa.
Yeah. Again, no, he is so very well resonating with our scriptures. Finding your purpose. So he has focused one beautiful paragraph describing we should not look for the results, the outcome. Just do whatever comes your way. And anything and everything can be your purpose. Like you don't have to think about something very magnificent. Even picking up trash, talking to a child on a sitting alone on a stroller, or just you can make sense of your life by being there for anyone, everyone, even for a stranger. Karma kal phal ki asha mat kar, and that karma can be anything. It need not be something very profound and sublime and anything like that. Just and then he's also talking about finding our intention. One of the ways is loving ourselves is very important. Respecting ourselves is very important. Appreciation, gratitude, and also making peace with whom we have issues. Mm. With our maybe people who have hurt us or fought with, making peace with them and appreciating others. When you appreciate the world, then you find appreciation in yourself. in oneself, in our own self. So it's very important that we learn to appreciate anything and everything without hatred, with love, kindness. Uh, then we can see that in ourselves. If we see hate in the world, that is what we'll see within ourselves also. So it's very important for self love that we see love all around us, and we learn to come in terms with whatever things are happening is for the good. So yeah, they can just go on endlessly about whatever he's telling. Very profound. I'm finding it very blissful. Thank you.
Yeah, even I love that part of the purpose. And it reminds me slightly of the Soul movie again, where there is this partner where it's shown that he gets its spark, that tag at the end.
Mm.
Whoever's watched it may resonate with it.
Yeah, I'm watching that movie now. I'm just making time. Suddenly, life has got so hectic. I'm finding it difficult to make time. But I
No,
watched a bit of it. Yeah, it's there in
no,
YouTube and all
you
the
should
other.
watch it in the end. No, it's not on YouTube. I'll
It
share a
is
link.
there on payment. It
Yeah,
is there everywhere. It is on payment.
yeah, it's
Mm.
not available for free. At least I don't know
Yeah,
any source where
yeah.
it's available for free.
I figured out how
So,
to do the online thing, and I'm watching it.
no, no,
Today,
I'll
I hope
share a
to make it.
link with you where you can watch it for free also. So I'll share
Really?
it with
Okay.
you today
Good.
itself. Yeah, yeah.
All
Remind me if I forget. I'll do that. Yeah.
right. Okay.
So
Thank you.
we just watched it in the group recently. So there is this one part where, so basically, for anyone who's not watched it, I'll just share in a gist that basically it's all about there is this one musician who's very, very passionate about his. He's a piano player and he's a teacher also, and he just dies. In the beginning of the movie, and the all the movies around how he goes to heaven, and then everything like it's the beyond world, before world, and all of those, like a soul journey kind of a thing. And he wants to go back to his body because he's in coma or something like that, I think. And he wants to go back because he has got the opportunity of his life there. Like on the day he got the biggest opportunity, he was always waiting for his life. He dies in an accident. So then he wants to go back and he don't want to go into that beyond world and all of that. And that's how he realizes what is life all about. And then he meets, like, there is a soul partner. Like everyone gets a mate and they go back to earth and things like that. It's beautifully shown in animation. And in that, the partner that he gets is a soul who is an old soul, and has known and lived it all and don't want to go on earth anymore, because there is this it's shown that they give the stickers to everyone for some as a soul achievements or something like that. So one of the thing is finding your spark. So basically the whole gist is around this spark, where whole movie ends with this, like basically the musician or the passionate artist always feels that he is living his spark, but still he is not living it. I don't want to spill the beans, but just for everyone to understand that at the end, his partner discovers the spark eventually, and then he realizes the spark is in not in doing something as a vocation that you're very passionate about or something like that, but actually it is in living life moment by moment. It is actually living with in those small kind, like as we read today na, or in those kindful moments and things that you just feel so beautiful and soulful about. It's like just experiencing the breeze, or eating your food with mindfulness, or all those small small things that are only available on earth. Like you can't as they say in heaven, you can't feel, you can't touch, and all those senses are not available. So living a very soulful and a experienced life is what is spark, is what the end is very beautiful. At towards the end you'll realize you get the whole gist of the movie and what the message of the movie basically. So it's very beautiful. So watch till the end, whoever wants to, and I'll share the link. I'll do that. Let me do it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah, please share. So today's chapter, it reminded me of that, and many things are very aligned also in the same way. In
Yeah,
the-
Mansi.
Yes, yes, Manish.
Good morning, all. See what I understand from today's reading and everything related to that is, the source of every desire is inside you. Our intention, if we mindfully look at that and understand that, so source of every dream is inside us, and it is that through mindfulness, meditation, introspection, affirmation, and so many other things that we read, keep on reading all the time, right? We have to just practice them very often so that we can be fully aware of that intuition inside us. And the source is inside us. We don't have to look anywhere around us. The heaven is here right now and in this moment.
Yes, very true, very true. In fact, in the chapter, at multiple places, I found in our reading today that the author mentions the seven phases of intention many a times, and they are there in the earlier chapters. So, if anyone had joined in the middle and they have not read it, I would highly recommend to go back and read those and remind yourself of those. In fact, the author has also mentioned in earlier chapters to have cards of those seven phases and just keep it as a reminder for us every day, kind of a thing. So they're very nice. If I can get a screenshot of it, I'll share it in the group also today. And so yeah, Shilpa, sorry, Shilpa, Sunita, Shilpa shared already. Sunita, you want to share something? Anyone else who wants to share and not spoken yet? Deepika, Sunita.
No, for me, the thing about uh, the purpose and how it doesn't have to be anything grand or phenomenal is what's stuck, and one has to just like you'd also mentioned about this whole thing that living life with its true meanings and absorbing everything in the right with the right intent is purpose enough. So that was something that hit me hard and made me realize that okay, it's all right. I don't need to keep running after finding or uh, identifying that purpose for me, or so it is all right if I do whatever I'm doing in a smaller purpose. Like uh, everyone wants to make a grand impact uh, for people around because that gives you uh, that draws the attention to you. Howsoever, if one can be satisfied if you're just a small fish in a pond, and just making sure that everything around you is as neat, clean, tidy, and pure as it should be, and that is satisfying the purpose. So yeah, that was a real eye opener and kind of a solace kind of a thing.
Yeah, I just remembered of our discussion yesterday when you were reading, and synchronistically, you were reading that part about his daughter singing, and we just shared this example. So I'll just share it with everyone here also. Like just yesterday, we were talking about this that um there is this one guy who was just who had gone to some big interview. I don't remember of unfortunately which interview, but it was some big one, like maybe UPSC, IPSC, or IIM, IIT, something huge, which people just struggle to get in that place in the first place. So he had been selected, or I think he just got very excellent marks or topped that exam or something like that. And then when he was asked in an interview after that what is it that you want to become or what do you want to do next in your life, so now that you are a topper here, whatever, what do you want to do next? Then he says that oh, I just want to go, I want to become a singer. And everyone laughed at the answer, and they were like, are you sure, like after achieving this place which many people they don't, you want to become a singer after all this? So then he said, yes, I want to become a singer. And nobody believed him at that point, and they found that answer weird, but he was very clear and very confident about it. And that man is Shankar Mahadevan today. So it is basically so this is how I had listened to it, and this is how they revealed it. They did not tell his name first. They just shared the incident, and then the name was revealed. And we know Shankar Mahadevan, how big he has become in his career as singer, and we know the history, right? So like it's like basically he knew his calling since then, and whatever his marks or whatever his thing, he was not, he was unstoppable. And basically we can see that so this is what we were discussing yesterday, that some people, they just have those qualities, and they just bring in those qualities in them about whatever hard work, winning, and all those beautiful things that actually become a part of them, and they stay with them for what, in whichever field or whatever they do. So that's how it's seen. Like this is what we were discussing basically. But somehow today's example of his daughter Sky, and the singing part, that just resonated with me. And Sunita was also reading it synchronistically. So I just remembered of that. So just wanted to share that with everyone. So I just remembered that when you're reading.
And the fact that my daughter is also a singer, so that
Yeah, yeah.
also.
I remember. Yeah, you said that yesterday. So yeah, maybe singing, or you have seen the movie Soul, right? So you know, like it may need not be the vocation. So that's the gist of the movie. What the author also shared today, that sometimes I feel now the passion, the purpose and passion. These things are great for people who actually identify them, and are able to identify them at the early ages, like Sachin Tendulkar or Lata Mangeshkar, or anyone like who's living their passion. Maybe some of us also. And but I feel for some it takes time to realize and come to that place, and it's okay. I think we completely in these today's day and time, everything is so glorified that we overestimate these things a lot, I feel, and we just give up on living our life and finding the little joys in it. I think that was what the part the author also mentioned, right? Like it could be in the small things, like helping someone, serving someone, or doing some small things. If we look at it this way, everyone is already living their purpose, because we don't know we are never, like it doesn't come to us like a tagline, right? We have to anyways discover. I just read this quote somewhere recently, that the purpose of our life is to ultimately discover our purpose. So I think it's about the whole life going and finding what is our purpose, and that's the purpose of the life. And I think that itself is so beautiful, right? Like when you find it, it might just end, but when you are finding it, when there is a quest of finding it, it makes it interesting enough that we are always striving to find it, and that in the process of finding it, we are living a purpose already. Like we are already taking steps towards it, because we are going by our heart's calling, and by soul's calling, and we are step by step progressing towards and working towards a purpose in itself. So is what I just realized. So that was beautiful. And that is so liberating also, like for someone who's even I struggled with it for a long time. I wanted to know, what do I want to do? I want to do this or that and all of those. But I think this realization is very liberating in itself. So you just do what you feel like doing, and that itself is good enough. It's very joyful, and it gives you all the soulful feeling that's needed. So yeah. So yeah, anyone else wants to add something?
Can
Deepika,
I can I add
yeah,
my tadka to this, what you said right now?
yeah, please,
So
please do.
my tadka is um, exactly what you said. We are living every day our purpose. There is one more thing that we need to add to it. We need to live purposefully, in the sense, whatever we are doing, we need to do it with purpose and joy, as you mentioned. So, as long as you're aware of it, you will be in the abundance, right? So, just uh, being aware, being mindful, and being intentional, and one more word, being purposeful, you've got the purpose. But you have to add these four ingredients so that you don't have this question, And let me focus on this because I did a course with Simon Sinek, or how to find out why, and other things. So I realized that it was it's a Western phenomenon that you need to find something. In our scriptures over here, we don't. Everything is dharma. Everything that you do it with intention of giving to God is our dharma. So um, you have to remember this. And all that what he's talking about, Wayne Dyer, he spent a lot of time reading our scriptures. Okay, I will stop now. I just wanted to remind you, Mansi, sorry for this traffic. Um, I just wanted to remind you, Mansi, you said you would send the picture link, and you said you will take a picture of these 7 phases, right?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day. I have to leave now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Does anyone want to speak, or it just 1 minute to 8:30? We can even close if everyone is done. So it was wonderful sharing, and yeah, thank you. Wonderful shares, and I'm curious to read further because now it is next topic is purpose and intention. So even I am curious to know the difference, and let's see. Looking forward to tomorrow's reading. So yeah, anyone wants to add something before we leave? Nothing. Okay,
I
then
was,
thank you.
Thank
Okay. Yeah, Manish. Yeah.
what I was saying
Yeah,
is, see,
Deepa.
when
Yeah. Yeah,
hello.
Manish,
Go ahead,
you finished?
Manishi. Go ahead. Go
Deepa,
ahead.
you can speak.
Go ahead,
What I'm
Manish.
saying is, when we talk about intention and when we talk about purpose, I think if we align that same thought and feeling with our duty, that we are here for a reason, and it is our duty to live our purpose, to live our intention. I think that makes it more deeper and impactful on our mind, and we become more conscious of making it happen. So align, associate every purpose, intention with your duty. That it is my duty to be successful. It is my duty to be wealthy. It is my duty to help others. It is my duty to be healthy. It then it makes more impact on our mind, and we become more mindful to achieve that. So I think associating duty with all these intentions make a difference to me as a person. So I thought I should share with you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes. And I feel it's
Yeah,
all
I
about
just
getting started with your heart's calling, like an inspired action. And I think things follow through step by step. As you take one step, you need to learn some things in the process. You get to know some things in the process, and eventually things evolve towards your purpose. Is also what I realize. So yeah, Deepa, gone.
yeah. I was reading this one line. It really like an awakening call or hit me very hard. The writer says, after we take physical form of particles and matter, that's this phrase he uses. So he is saying that one of his interpretation might be, before we take this form or human form or any physical form, it's just a matter, just particles of matter. But we make so big issue of our physical body, hmm, in whatever, whether we are an animal or a human being or whatever. Before we take this physical form of particle matters, that is the blissful state, that when we are connected to the source. So that we have to understand, we are mere particles of matter. So don't give so much importance to that. There is something much more higher, and that is when we take this form. That is like that in between state before birth and after death. So that really is making me think a lot. I'll be reading that part again. Just wanted to add that. Thank
So,
you.
so I'll just add my understanding of that part that you shared is basically he mentions that before we take the physical forms, we are we're connected to the source and we already know something like that. That reminded me of the first initial chapters where he mentioned that we already have the seed within us, and we know what we need to become. So talking about purpose, he mentioned that again, that so it's basically every life knows what its purpose is, and what are they here for, in the highest connection with their within, and the deeper connection with the source. Basically, like how a mango seed knows that it need to become a mango tree, an apple seed knows that it need to become an apple tree, similar like that. That is the part that I remembered when you read that part. So just sharing that.
Mhm.
So yeah, maybe when you reread
Mhm.
it, you'll get some better insights, and you can always share that with us. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay then. Thank you then,
Mm.
everyone. See you all tomorrow. Looking
Thank you.
forward to reading next. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye. See you all.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye bye. See you all.